The NFL is finally back. We have football season here, and we're here to make NFL Week 1 predictions. We're going to choose 5 games each week to go over in these videos, and we're going to kick it off with Friday night's matchup between the Chiefs and the Chargers. Yes, the expected scores are 20-19 for the Chargers to win this, but that is all based off of last season's numbers. And it's really because the Chargers did a very good job defensively compared to what the Chiefs did this year. I'm still expecting the Chiefs to do very well. They make it all the way to the Super Bowl. Probably to me, they didn't look great all of last season, but they were good and they're still good. Their defense is my question mark. Are they going to continue to be good? We know what Pat Mahomes and Travis Kelce, will they have a running game this year? I guess we will find that out. Now, on the Chargers side, this game is being played in Brazil, but that is also another reason why the expected score is kind of in favor of the Chargers here, is because it is technically on paper a home game from them, but it's not. It's in Brazil. That is not going to play a role for either one of these sides. But the Chargers, I have a lot of questions for them. I think that their offense could be good with Justin Herbert and team, but the line is what's questionable for me, and then also their defense. So I think that they are going to be very mediocre. I think that they could have the same kind of record that they had last season. This is going to be a good game, but ultimately I have to go with the Chiefs to win this matchup. For the first game that we're going to talk about there on Sunday, that is the Miami Dolphins versus the Indianapolis Colts. The expected score is leaning in favor of the away side for the Dolphins, but there's a lot of questions on the Miami Dolphins. I am a Dolphins fan, and I have not been very excited for them. I hope that this season is a turnaround. Going 8-9 last season was not that great. We have the players to do well. I know the injuries were a big thing, always a big thing for Miami, but there's a lot of people on the hot seat there in Miami. And what are they going to do? Are they going to prove themselves to be a good team, or are they going to just suck and not compete this year? I guess we'll find out here in week 1 where that is going to turn there on the road. Now, for the Colts, Daniel Jones wins the quarterback battle there, and he will be starting for the Colts. The Colts, I think that it's one of those things. They also went 8-9 last season, 47% win percentage there with a negative 50 points deficit. So they really can their offense do anything? I think that is the biggest question here. Will their offense be able to do anything? Their defense, not that great either. See if they've made some changes here in the offseason to do well. With that all being said, though, I think that with them being at Lucas Oil Stadium, the Colts, I feel like we have to lean towards the home field advantage here in week 1 for a lot of these games. I really want the Dolphins to win. I would love that. I would love for them to open up the season 1-0, but I'm going to have to go with the Colts here at home. I think that there's just too much questions on both sides of these teams. I think that this is going to be a close game. I mean, the spread is 1.5 for this, so this game could go either way, but I'm going to have to go with the Colts to win this match over the Dolphins. Now, the next game that we're going to talk about there, it is going to be at 4:05 Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. That is the Tennessee Titans versus the Denver Broncos. I'm expecting some good things out of the Titans. I really hope that Cam Ward era starts here, and I think that he could be a very good quarterback. And there's a lot of hype there. There's a lot of hype for the Titans around him, but what can the rest of the team do? That is the question for me. On the Denver Broncos side, the defense looks good, but what is that offense going to do there? They're playing in Denver, so it is going to be a hard, difficult game for the Titans because that is a tough place to play, coming off of a 3-14 season last year. And the Denver Broncos, still high expectations this year, going 10-8 last season. I think that the Broncos are the way to go in this one because there's so many questions around Cam Ward. And again, this Denver Broncos defense is a pretty solid defense. so they could cause a lot of problems and give that rookie some big issues there in game one. So with that, we got to go with the Denver Broncos at home. They are a +8.5. They're at home, or -8.5, not +8.5, -8.5. They're at home, and I feel like the public are going with Denver Broncos in this because we just don't know enough about the Titans. I do think the Titans will have a better season than what they did last year. You just got to get 4 wins to do better, but going with the Denver Broncos to win this one there in Denver. Now, for a huge game already in week one, in that Sunday night spot, we have the Baltimore Ravens versus the Buffalo Bills. The Ravens, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry. Then on the flip side, the Bills with Josh Allen. This one is split down the middle for me, just like the expected outcome. These two teams are probably two of the best teams in the league. I will say that. I think that these two teams, we will see both of these teams probably end up playing each other, except unless the Chiefs have a really good season again. We could see these two teams playing in the AFC Championship or in the playoffs this season. I think that both of these teams offensively, very good. The Ravens a little bit better last year on defense. Maybe they have stepped that up. Their defense are going to be pretty good this season. I know that a lot of people are talking that the Ravens might have a better defense than the Bills in this one. I'm not 100% sure about that or how I feel about that. This one's going to come down to the wire. This one I could see being a field goal game or win by 1 or 2. This is going to be a very close one. I think the Bills, who's going to win it this year? Like this is the time for the Ravens or the Bills to take over the reign from the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are getting older, and this is the time for the Ravens or the Bills to step up and take that away from the Chiefs, so we have another AFC team in the Super Bowl besides the Chiefs. This one's going to be a good one, but I'm going to have to lean, again, like I said earlier, I think you have to lean a little bit in favor of the home sides here, and I think that the Bills are going to walk away with the win here there in New York. I do like the Ravens, though. I could see this going either way. I think the Ravens could come out. They had a great season last year. So did the Bills. Again, both teams really good. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills to win this one in week one. And for our first Monday Night Football game, we have the Minnesota Vikings versus the Chicago Bears. This one could be a very good one. Vikings did a great job last season on a 14-4 record. I can continue to see them doing well. They have a good run game. They have a good defense that can continue there for Minnesota Vikings. But we have to talk about the Chicago Bears probably having one of the best off seasons this year. They really needed it with only going 5-12 last year. That is the biggest question is with all of the new hires, staff and players, what will Caleb Williams do for the Bears in this one? Will he continue to progress? Will he become a quarterback that is very good in this league? Only time will tell. This is probably a make or break season for him, and maybe with new coaches and stuff, maybe he will have a standout year. It is a tough test against this Vikings team. They have some new line players, so we'll see if they can hold up to the Minnesota Vikings defense. This one again is going to be a good one. The spread is very close. Vikings on the road, Chicago at home. I think a lot of things point to the Vikings to win this one, even though it's the first game of the season, and I think that we have a lot to learn still going through these games, especially with week one. I feel like I am stuttering because there's not much other than knowing who the players are that came in and everything. It's hard to predict these first round of games, but I'm going to say it here. I think Chicago are going to get the job done at home. I feel like you do have to give a home advantage. It's the first one of the season. The fans are going to be there. The stadium's going to be packed. So I have to say that the Bears are going to get the job done here at home. They're going to win this one over the Minnesota Vikings. So there's my predictions for week one. Tell me down below what your predictions are for this and what do you think is going to happen throughout the season? Who are you cheering for and who's going to win the Super Bowl this year? Can't wait to find out. Please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you like the content. We'll see you for the next video.